St. Lawrence Island of Alaska is located west of the mainland and is surrounded by the Bering Sea. It is 90 miles long and about 20 miles wide and contains two villages, Savunga and Gambell. St. Lawrence is home to roughly 1,600 Yupik people. They have lived on this island for many, many generations and continue to live as traditionally as possible. One of the most important things to them in their culture is their food. They are traditionally and are still whalers and hunt whales, sea mammals, lots of fish including salmon, cod, inkanu, and whitefish. They also hunt and eat birds and their eggs. The Yupik people are very skilled at carving, often in walrus ivory and whalebone. They are also known for being reindeer herders. St. Lawrence was the first place in Alaska to be visited by European explorers. They went through similar assimilation processes that other tribes went through, but because of the tough climate, not many Europeans actually settled there long term. The island is still today made up of mostly Siberian Yupik people. During the Cold War in 1952, the Northeast Cape Air Force Station was built on the island. This location was chosen because of its close proximity to Russia. The camp was made up of an aircraft control and warning center, a 4,800-acre radar site, a United States Air Force Security Service listening post, and a White Alice communications system. In simpler words, the camp was made up of many electrical components which contained polychlorinated biphenyls, better known as PCBs. The camp was in operation from 1952 to 1972 and eventually closed because of how expensive it was to operate. It was pretty much abandoned, other than the few things that were buried, such as equipment, fuel spills, chemicals like solvents and pesticides, heavy metals, and of course, PCBs. After it closed, the Yupik people living on the island started experiencing health problems such as cancer and other diseases due to the PCB exposure. There was a $10.5 million cleanup program that happened in 2003, but cleaning up the rubble left behind did not stop pollutants from already seeping into the land and water. A village elder named Annie Alawa developed liver cancer and reached out to Alaska Community Action on Toxics, which is an environmental non-governmental organization in Anchorage. She felt the sudden amount of cancer and illnesses like diabetes, reproductive problems, and heart disease were too bizarre to be a coincidence. She wanted research done to prove it was the chemicals from the military bases that were responsible. The community worked with Alaska Community Action on Toxics and the University at Albany to conduct studies on the people testing for PCBs such as DDT and its breakdown product DDE. After taking blood samples from 130 adults, they found that St. Lawrence residents had a mean PCB concentration of 4.6 parts per billion. This is compared to other parts of America where the average concentration is 0.9 to 1.5 parts per billion. Yupik people feel scared for their future generations as well as used and disrespected. Since they started researching this issue over 10 years ago, it has become apparent that the high levels of toxins may also be caused by pollution traveling through the air and water, most likely coming from Asia. This possibility opens up a whole bigger problem and involves much more than the island of St. Lawrence. I believe the only solution for the Yupik people is to continue researching and exercising their rights. Pollution is not only an American issue, it is a worldwide issue, and the only way people will listen is if you show them undebatable, scientifically proven evidence. At the very least, the Yupik people should use their findings to get compensation from the military to at least pay for their medical bills. Yupik woman Miss Wagayi says, "Our traditional foods are killing our people, but without our traditional foods, we die as a culture."